Greetings, greetings. Welcome in. Today I'm doing an Ancestors Speak tarot reading where we're going to look at what you're being protected from. Because a message came through very strongly that your ancestors are fiercely protecting you at this time. For some of you, there is something that's going to happen or something that has recently happened where the person who's the perpetrator has really effed around and now they're finding out. Like they're finding out that your ancestors don't play. Right after they wronged you, they noticed that things started happening in their life. Some of them may actually think you are witches and warlocks. They may think that you're doing spiritual work against them, but what they don't know is that you are just fiercely protected by your ancestors. They don't play. All right? They just do not play. This topic came to mind because of a message I got from one of my ancestors. And what I saw about this ancestor and how fiercely they protect me is that, say someone does something to upset me. If I'm really sensitive about it, right? And say I'm taking something really hard and it's not that serious, right? But for some reason, I'm really mad about it. I'm judging the person harshly. That can kind of trigger an overreaction from my ancestors as well. So if I'm overreacting emotionally to something that happens, that can kind of rub off on my ancestors, and then they can end up really beating the shit out of somebody who really doesn't deserve that level of punishment. So you have to be careful, some of you, with the ways you think about others, the things you say, right? Your level of anger at people, because it can trigger a really big reaction from your ancestors. Okay, so let's look at the ways that your ancestors are protecting you right now. If you're interested in a personal reading, they're available at daydreamaustin.com/store. I also have my Divine Says Oracle decks, some ebooks. Okay, so while I was preparing for the reading, one of the things that I heard initially was that there's something about gossip that you're being protected from. So there are people who are speaking about you behind your back, but your ancestors want you to know that they got you. Someone's going to be put in their place and you won't even have to do it. Okay, so that's a message for someone in particular where there's some shady shit going on behind the scenes. You may have a clue, but you may not. It doesn't matter. Your ancestors are working on it behind the scenes. What are you being protected from? I knew this card was going to come out. The opposition card. I saw this before I started the reading, and it just flew out the deck. Opposition is saying that there is opposition in your life. Basically, it's like having enemies, right? This could be in your workplace. This can be in your own goddamn house. Whatever it is, you have opposition. You have an enemy that is standing against you and something that's at odds with your spirit, right? With who you are. Your ancestors are guiding you through this situation and they're protecting you. So they want you to listen to them with an open mind. And this keeps coming through in readings, they're giving you ideas, intuitive hits, inspiration, and things like that to put you on the right path. There's something about being creative and open-minded, right? Not closed off to new ideas, new inspiration, because not only are they protecting you, but they're helping guide you out of a situation. It's kind of like you're being walked out of a situation slowly but surely. You just have to have an open mind and be creative, okay? In the meantime, they kind of want you to keep a low profile. So if this is in an environment like a group environment, a group setting at work, even in your home, something like that where you know you're facing opposition, keep a low profile. Be as accommodating and peaceful as possible. And they want you to know, like, it's, for some reason I'm getting the energy of the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is like this sneaky energy, right? So say someone's being sneaky towards you, but you know, you've picked up that, okay, there's opposition, there's enemies. So your job is to kind of reverse that sneakiness. It's like you see what they're doing, you lay low, you play the game, you play nice, but all the while you know these people are about to get their asses kicked, their asses handed to them by your ancestors. So they don't really want you to fight if you can help it, because it's their fight, they're telling me. We have the resolution card coming out right behind the opposition card. Yeah, they're working to fix your problem. They're working to fix it. But they want you to be determined and face things head on. Like, don't hide. And again, here's this reminder, y'all. They really want you to be your best self. Look at your conduct. Be open and honest, right? If you have to lay low and keep a low profile, be peaceful, play it cool, do that, because they got your back. Like, they're handling things. So I think sometimes you'll think you need to do something to get revenge, but you don't, because your ancestors are standing for you. You don't need to go at nobody. If you're doing the right things and you're dealing with people in fair, honest ways, right? But you're facing opposition, don't worry. Your ancestors got you. We got the obstruction card. Damn, you are surrounded by obstacles. Some are of your own making. But that's okay. They're saying look inward. Be tolerant and kind, right? Always check your own character. Do the self-reflection needed. But there's like a protective energy around you either way. Some of you right now are being protected from yourself. Some of you have some self-sabotaging ways, some ways of dealing with situations, some ways that you move through life that are counterproductive, that aren't helpful to you, right? That sometimes cause obstacles and issues. Some of you are being led into a journey of self-reflection so that you can overcome this energy, so that you can finally move into a higher vibration and a higher state of being. So that's what your ancestors are protecting you from. For some of you, your ancestors are protecting you from yourself. For some of you, this is bad habits. Maybe you're feeling like, man, I have to leave this particular habit behind because it's bringing me down, it's dragging me down. I'm not doing well in life. I'm losing things that are important to me because of this habit. So your ancestors are helping you to look within, bringing in mentors even, right? People you can look up to. Danger. Danger lies ahead. So for some of you, your ancestors are protecting you from the full brunt of some type of dangerous experience or situation that is coming. This is not for everyone. There's something for someone listening that's not going to be as bad as it could have been because of your ancestral protection, okay? And they still want you to have courage. They don't want you to hear this message and become frightened. You know? Then we have the fox here. Yeah, the fox is like a sneaky energy with danger. There may be someone stalking or watching one of you who may sometimes think of doing something maybe to get revenge, to harm you, or something like that. Your ancestors are going to beat this person to a pulp if they do not stop. But this also means you making smart choices, right? Because we have the card here that says some of the issues in your life are your own making. So say someone has betrayed you and then you go back for more. You go back for more betrayal. At that point, it's on you, right? Because if the person has shown you who they are, you got away from them. Maybe your ancestors gave you information about who they are and you got away from that person, but then something happens and you go back into the situation. That's going to be on you, right? It's like your ancestors can protect you to the extent that you allow them to. So there is danger from an acquaintance. Yeah, a betrayal. So that means you have to pay attention to your intuition, because that's one of the ways our ancestors protect us, right? They speak to us through dreams. Like I had, the dream where my ancestor came and showed me that she don't play about me. But I've also had dreams where ancestors have shown me about people in my life, right? Pay attention to shit like that. Now we have the snake. And the snake here indicates enmity and calamity. Yeah, so again, some type of issue with a person who's looking at you with bad eyes, and then some type of great fall, calamity, like the tower energy. There's a snake, there's a fox in your energy. The ancestors see it and they are working with this resolution card to fix it on your behalf. For somebody here, I'm sorry to say this is a person that's looking at you to date you. They are a snake, they are a fox, they're no good, and their energy blocks the energy of someone coming in who's actually a better fit for you, okay? Be careful of who you commune with, who you get into situations with, situationships I'm hearing. Your ancestors are going to be giving you clear signs and signatures that something and someone is not right for you. Pay attention. We have the Tower card here. It denotes sickness and could be even premature death. These are the things that your ancestors are protecting you from, but there are steps you can take to work with them as opposed to against them. That's something that's coming through really strongly that I haven't heard in the past in an ancestral reading. They are letting you know that something is not good. Are you going to follow their guidance? They are giving you nudges and letting you see that a particular habit, action, behavior is no good. Are you going to pay attention to that? Or are you going to keep doing the same thing? Someone's ancestors are showing me that there's so many people in heaven because they didn't follow their intuitive promptings. They didn't follow the guidance of their ancestors. That's coming through strong. Stop playing around, y'all. Somebody here might end up in heaven early because they weren't listening. You'll feel it before you go out. You'll feel something is wrong. Before you hang out with a particular person, you'll feel something is off. There's someone who wants to date you and you know inside that it's a no. There's someone who does not have your best interest at heart. They hate you truly, but you're still in their vicinity, in their environment. No. Yes, illumination with the Sun card. Your ancestors are illuminating something for you. They want you to keep your eyes open. Like, really pay attention to what's going on around you. That's how they're keeping you safe. For some of you, and this is not like something where they're protecting you per se, For some of you, your ancestors are really helping you to expand your mind. Like you've been living in this box, and they're helping you to really think outside the box, to move from like a very limited perspective to an unlimited perspective, from a strict, limited perspective to an expansive perspective. For some of you, your ancestors are calling you somewhere, maybe to Africa. There's a calling to another place. For some of you, you'll be relocating, okay? I know that's not a protective energy, but it's still like they're calling you out of the, your comfort zone, where you've been, what you've been doing. You've been holding on to a place, or have just been there because that's where you started out in life, right? But your ancestors want you to know that you don't have to stay there. For some of you, the protective energy around you is with your finances. I keep getting this energy of people overspending, going into too much debt, and your ancestors are letting you know to kind of hold back, pull back, and save some money. Some of you need to save because you're going to be called to move away from where you are and like really move, relocate overseas to another country. Protect your funds, your finances from people who may have evil eye or may have an opportunistic eye on you. So that's one of the ways they're protecting you as well. There may be people around you who look at you as a cash cow, as someone who they can benefit off of or benefit from. Your ancestors are going to try to separate you from those people. Again, you have to pay attention to what's coming through so that you'll know that someone is not supposed to be in your life, right? They'll be giving you signs. Sometimes the people themselves will give you signs, and the ancestors won't even have to help with that. But if you ignore it, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, there's somebody here with really negative eyes watching you. It's like that evil eye, hating ass energy the ancestors are protecting you from. Like really working on your behalf to make sure you have some type of victory over a situation. For some of you, this is a legal situation where there's a lot of work being done in the unseen realms to ensure that you come out victorious. But remember, you have to, in certain cases, some of you are going to have to take the high road, even if you don't want to. So somebody's ancestor said, let us go low. You don't have to go low. We gonna go low. Like my ancestor in the dream. We have a lot of snakes here, so it's a lot of snake in the grass energy that you're being protected from. They are really like fighting to keep the snakes away from you. And what's interesting is I feel bad for the snakes, honey, because they don't know that when they put themselves at odds with you, they gain very powerful, energetic enemies. And this is what's bringing so much discord to their own lives. So if they were smart, they would really try not to be in that energy in regards to you. That's why I'm really careful, y'all, about my anger. Like if someone gets me upset, and again, if it's not that serious, like really trying to just look at things in a realistic way, not do too much in terms of my judgment of them, because you don't like, I don't know if I'm sending that energy to somebody, who's to say their, protectors are not going to pick me up now as an enemy, see me as an enemy and start coming at me. I don't need that shit. Life is hard enough. So be careful of how you look at others as well. And I know that's hard sometimes, especially if they've betrayed you or done you wrong. But it's helpful to work through that stuff. Let's see. A couple more messages about what the ancestors are protecting you against. Yeah, and that's what I was seeing in the tarot. For some of you, your ancestors are, again, it's like they are kind of fighting with parts of you, because you're blocking yourself. Some of you are afraid of change, afraid to move forward, or not following your passions, right? Or not doing the work that you're meant to do here. Spending too much time focused on shit that just don't really matter, that's not helpful to your destiny and your forward movement. And they're really trying to get you to move in a more passionate way, in a more uplifted way, and to fulfill your destiny, your dharma, like do what you're meant to do here. To have more fun, to lighten up, to move. Some of you need to move, out of the area you're in. Some of you are hanging out with the wrong crowd of people. And another way they're trying to protect you from yourself is some of you have a lot of fear, anger, and sadness, and they want you to release that. Yeah, they want you to go towards things that really light you up and ignite your fire, right? But also, I think that's why I was seeing that in the beginning. They want you to be mindful of how you're showing up in the world, right? Sometimes being more yielding, open, and humble. Some of you are really defensive. Very, very defensive. And you always feel like someone's against you and coming at you. And not to say you don't have reasons to feel that way, but they want you to relax. Be yielding, not rigid. You don't have to go back and forth with other people. You don't have to convince them that they're wrong and you're right. There's something about just letting go. There's a great healing energy here with the Three of Swords, the Star, and the Tower. Start acting more from your heart space. Again, in that way, your ancestors are protecting you from yourself. The last card here, surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Letting go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Yeah, for some of you, what they're protecting you from is all of this heaviness that you've been carrying for years. It's time to let it go so that you may soar and just go beyond all those old, outdated beliefs and paradigms, okay? I hope this has been helpful. Take care. Ashe.